Good morning. Jesus is Lord. Thank God the word works. I've been ministering the last 4 days on, first of all, can you expect God to answer your prayers, what you pray? And then we'll be getting into a little bit today on when can I expect Him to answer my prayers. And like I've said before, the only way you can know God and what He will do is by His Word. You can't know Him by experience. You can't know Him by your feelings, because your feelings will lie to you. The only way you can know God is by what He said in His Word and what He does. So we have found out from the Word that Matthew 7:7, ask and it shall be given unto you. Mark 11:24, what things soever you desire when you pray, believe you receive them and you shall have them. John 14, if you shall ask anything in my name, I will do it. John 15, John 16, Jesus over and over told us that whatever you ask for, you will get. Well, so who is it left up to? It's left up to each one of us. It's not up to God. It's up to us. He has made the offer. He's made the invitation to come boldly to the throne of grace. But He leaves it up, the it and the what, up to you as His child. So the responsibility to receive is on us. It's not on Him, because He's already made the offer. It's like if a person comes to you and says, and gives you a check and signs the check and says you can go buy whatever you want to. Well, the whatever you want to is up to you. Well, Jesus has given us the check with His name on it. And He said, whatever you ask the Father in my name, that will I do. So the responsibility for what you receive from God is up to you. And that is good news. The responsibility for what I receive is up to me. So we're going to look at now, knowing that God said He will answer our prayer, our every prayer, whether it's a physical, a spiritual, a financial, or just something. I have to share this. Years ago, when we were getting a hold of this, Frank was riding just a broken down motorcycle, and it was all, it was all we had. And he would go out in the woods, and he would say, it's just not right for those heathen to be out there on brand new motorcycles, and I'm a child of the King, and I'm having to work on mine. He said, I'll work on it an hour and ride a few minutes. And so we just said, okay, well, we're just going to ask our Father, what do you want? And he said, I want a TT 500. So we prayed, we believed God for a TT 500. Do you know somebody from down the road that we never saw before or never saw since came up and said, I've got a TT 500 that I need to sell. And he sold it for just really a low price. He said, and I'll throw the helmet in. And we prayed in the money, and Frank got it. That wasn't something we had to have. It wasn't a matter of life or death. It was just a thing. And Frank said at that moment, he said, I can never be stopped, because this was just a thing, and my Father blessed me with it. So he's letting me know it's about time, about time to go. So the point being, he could have continued to ride that broken down motorcycle. But once we made a request for another one very specifically, then God granted us that request. The what is up to you. What do you want from God? And Jesus actually said that. I believe it was to Bartimaeus. He said, what will you that I should do unto you? Well, He's saying that to you today. What will you, my child, that I should do unto you? And saints, think big. The bigger you think, God does not like little thinking. Think big. And then go to your Father and ask Him for it. Well, we'll get into tomorrow the timing of when we can expect it. But just to encourage you, yes, it is your Father's heart's desire. But you decide the what. You have a blessed day. Remember, Jesus is Lord. Thank God the word works.